Hi, just to put a quick disclaimer at the beginning of this video. This is a very long and opinionated rant, basically, for this entire video. That's all it is. It's just a rant. It's highly opinionated. Some people may find this offensive, so if you don't want to be triggered, well, here's your warning. It's very much covering personal aspects and ideals and things just about me and my friend in this video, and it also covers a few things about our plans and motives for 2019. So if you do just want a summary of that, I will probably cover it at some point in the future if people really want it. But as far as it goes, I just made this, I just clipped this together because it has a few things in there that I feel like, it's less that I think people need to hear it especially, but more just I want to have it there just so I can say I tried to have some of these things heard. Because when it comes to more social-based opinions for some of these topics, it's less important for people to hear about it because it's just opinion, you know, whatever. But when it comes to some of the stuff I was saying about me and him were saying about creating content, I think people need to hear it. So luckily enough, that's what this video starts with mainly. So yeah, so just watch as much as you can. I don't expect people to watch the entire 2 hours, but I will leave it there for you anyway. So thanks again for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I mean, video games is what I want to do for my career, whether it be streaming or playing professionally. That's my interest.
Like, I couldn't play a game professionally as much as I'd love to become, say, like the next big Smash player, right? Yeah. I'd love to attend tournaments and place high in leaderboard rankings and things, and just be an overall good player at the game. But one, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I'm naturally awful at video games. I am just terrible at video games. I don't know what it is. I have to have something wrong with my head. But for the amount of time I've spent playing video games, I am something of another species when it comes to how bad I am. But that aside, I just don't have the energy I should have to dedicate it. Because if I do use the energy people would use to dedicate towards a career like that, if I did input that same amount of energy, I would begin to sacrifice other elements of my life. And I can't afford to do that. With content creation, it's different, right? Yeah. But even with like how I'd say high intensity, even though it's not that intense as it were, but how highly demanding it can become to make high quality like YouTube videos, for instance. Yeah. Or manage Twitch streams at a professional capacity. That takes a lot of time and effort. What for the most part is, once you get that rhythm built in the early game, the mid and late game, mainly the mid game, because the late game is trying to stop the channel from inevitably dying, right? Yeah. But in the mid game, it becomes a lot easier because you've got that rhythm, you've got that pull going, you know? Yeah.
Like at this point, say like Summit, Shroud, any of them, all they do now is, since their stream's already set up the way they want it, they literally just open up their stream and they know how they want it to go. Like they have keybinds set, they have everything set up, they just open their stream and they go and they do it.
And I want to get to that point, but the problem is I need to first initiate the beginning of it.
Yeah, well that's the problem. Initiating the beginning is the biggest issue. And like, say I got a foothold in professional gaming. That would be a huge stepping stone towards it because it gets publicity. The biggest thing isn't like the content you're putting out, because I've heard from multiple people that if I was able to be found, I'm like, they think I'm fucking hilarious. but it's being found. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that like I'm being cocky. Like people have definitely said that. Like Corey says it all the time.
I think when it comes to self-producing content, especially on the internet, it's obviously there is a lot to do with the quality you output at, right? You can't output 480p 30 FPS streams
Yeah, no.
and expect to be a big boy. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, but like I mean I'm covered there. I'm putting out 1080p max graphics settings quality right now. Like
Yeah, but my point is, like,
it's just being
not
found.
completely luck based, but the majority of it is.
Yeah, like I have what I need to like to stand up to the higher streamers. It's
But
just
again,
the publicity now.
It's just the early game that's luck based, because once you get that initial following, it snowballs.
Yeah, it does. Once you start to get
Like,
higher up into like say like you get like the 20, 30 viewer count, you'll start to kind of jump higher up onto the lists, and more people will be able to see that, hey, this guy's streaming, I might go check him out. And when they see more people in the stream talking and chatting, they're more inclined to stay and actually hang out in the stream rather than just there's 3 people in here, none of them are saying anything, I'm just gonna leave. Like,
and if it seems like we're making excuses for that, for like our lack of following, we have an in friend group example with me and you who've been streaming for years now, like creating content, streaming, all of that.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for as long as we've really been on the internet, right? At least I have.
I haven't been doing it since I got on the internet. I really picked up streaming probably close to a year ago.
I've been making YouTube videos since 2015.
I was making YouTube videos, but they were like ARC YouTube videos, and I wasn't really doing any editing or anything. It was kind of just like I only played ARC for like 40, 50 minutes, like an hour at most, and then I'd output a video, and it was like a series that I was doing, which ended as abruptly as it began because we got raided and just completely flattened and gave up.
And as much as the channel I was uploading on did get a reasonably nice following, after a while it ended up with, I think nowadays, even in its abandoned state, it still withholds 200 subscribers. Which, funnily enough, is a couple subscribers more than what I left with.
Well, that's the thing. No one unsubscribes, right? Like, no one's gonna unsubscribe to your channel just because you want AFK. They'll just be like, oh, it died, whatever. Leave it there. Like, one channel that, like, there's certain legacies that people leave that if they came back, they know it's there. Like, if Frankie on PC ever came back, he's still there. He's still relevant. He hasn't made content in so long. But, and what people don't understand is how much he actually put into his videos.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was watching something where it was like a video diary. Or not like a video, he has like 40-minute long videos on specific topics, like the day DayZ died, or why Frankie on PC is the best YouTube content creator ever. And he takes snippets of his clips and shows what it's like when he's playing it, like what it looks like when it's in his video state, and what it would look like if it was unedited. And the amount of sound and back quality he put into it to make it sound eerie and interesting and keep people entertained in what he's doing, even though it was as simple a task as looting some fucking lockers. It was immense how much stuff he actually put into that just small little snippet.
I think...
Or the fact that he made a YouTube video on, I think it was Arma 3 Exile mod, where he organized the entire server into a scripted event for his video.
I think, in my opinion, probably one of the biggest, like, passion killers, as it were, for these channels that are up and coming, or they've already up and gone, right? And they end up just dying.
Yeah.
The biggest kill state, the biggest reason of end for these channels is that people just don't appreciate the work.
Yeah.
Like, or at least, like, they don't show it. But the biggest way to easily lose motivation is to never hear anybody talk about work. Even if you're getting, like, people completely, like, just shit on and chat shit about your work, people are still talking about it, right?
There's people right down here.
And that's enough for some people. Even with it, right? Like with, for instance, my old YouTube channel, I used to get a lot of comments that were basically just like trolly, basically a big middle finger and a lot of sarcasm.
Yeah. Well, see, a lot of the comments on my videos were that they were actually pretty decent, and that I should definitely keep it up. But I was, you know, I was a young kid, and I didn't appreciate exactly what was happening. Like, I didn't really appreciate the praise and understand how that would affect me in the long run. I just saw that there weren't that many people watching my videos, and then my fucking base got destroyed, and I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to continue this. It's not getting any... But that was when I expected to be like, okay, my videos are in high quality, they got decent graphics, I'm going to get a huge viewership, I'm awesome. Type, like, mentality. Which is the stupid kid mentality that I had in me at the time. Obviously, it doesn't work like that.
The fact that I did YouTube and even succeeded at it at such a young age has permanently fucked up my view in creating on media online. Because when I was a kid, I got it into my head that like, oh, people are watching my videos. I'm getting like hundreds, sometimes even thousands of views on my videos, right?
Yeah.
I could make a living out of this. I could get money from it, obviously as a kid. When you think, I can get money, wow.
Yeah.
It basically takes over your thought.
Yeah.
And because of it, I stopped caring about the quality of my videos and just cared more about making them and just pumping out as much as I could.
I feel like that's what flames out a lot of people. That's like the mentality of a lot of people. They get like that bigger mentality where they just kind of like, they flame out because the quality of their videos goes down because it just kind of becomes like just something they do. But I feel like one of the hard things as well is keeping to an entertaining point, like keeping to an entertaining level when there's no one talking. Like,
yeah.
Like there was one time someone came in, I was streaming Alien Isolation, and he came in and he was talking to me a little bit, and then he made up some random fucking rap in my stream and asked me to rap it. So I said, fuck it, sure. Because, like, you know, it's just some fun shit that I could do.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll definitely do that shit. Like, I'll fucking... If it entertains the viewers and, you know, it's not against terms of service, fuck it, why not?
Like, I think
this whole thing is to entertain other people. That's what it's for.
One huge thing people misinterpret about content creation, especially when it comes to streaming, is that it's not just the content creator, it's the viewers as well that creates this content.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of the live aspect. You need the viewer count. Jesus fucking Christ!
And I'm dead. But it's part of that. Like, the viewers, even in YouTube, their feedback, like, say, oh, I really like your style, but I'm just not into this game. Could you play this instead?
Yeah,
even
like
that is
like
enough for someone to go, well, fuck, I've got some actual feedback to work with. Nice. It's even if it's a stupid meme video that some
fuck me!
That some random idiot on the internet. If people go ahead, watch it and go, yo, this was funny, I like this, that's enough for people to go, shit, well, I guess this is what I should do then.
Yeah. It's finding that, like, niche that you fit into.
Like, and even then, like, even if it's not a successful thing, the content creator itself, because I'm trying to kind of point this towards both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
For content creators, if you make something, and even if it doesn't do as well as your normal stuff, or if it's like the first thing you do, and it doesn't do that well, but you found it way more enjoyable to create than other pieces, make it.
Yeah.
Sure, you're still trying to get those views, and if it really is a career, then obviously try to keep producing your normal content. But don't give up on that one thing that made you really embrace and enjoy your creative side.
Well, see, that's the real thing about streaming, and I mean streaming in general. A lot of like a lot of the way Craze right now has created a lot of his early success is he purposely goes on Twitch and he'll look at what games are barely being streamed and he'll go stream those games, because if you do that, you pop to the top of the list. Like when I really enjoyed playing DayZ, that's what I played and there was no one playing it. So I got a huge amount of followers from DayZ. I got like 40 followers from DayZ. Because no one else was streaming it really. It was a very low populated game. Like not a lot of people liked it, but I still enjoyed playing it. So I played it. I literally had one of my first ever followers enjoyed me so much that they literally watched a black screen for 4 hours because I didn't have my comments up on the right hand side saying my screen is black. There was no video. There was just the audio of me playing the game, but they enjoyed it so much they stayed for 4 hours.
Jesus. Like that's the thing though. Like there's always gonna be a unique audience to every creator, regardless of what you make. You could make the most seemingly generic gameplay videos you could imagine, right?
Yeah.
But there are going to be a group of people out there that see your videos and say, even though it's very similar to this other creator, I prefer this person.
Yeah.
I see this person's content in comparison to the others, and even if the video quality is not as good, I find the actual content that's there more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Whether it be due to your sense of humor that differs, or just your editing style, the way you present it all.
Yeah, it's just something that appeals to them more than the way other people do it.
The one thing that everybody forgets nowadays in this age of digital content creation becoming the next big craze is that the reason it's a big craze is because it gets to show off that unique individualism and personality that other forms of media don't normally get to produce.
Yeah, exactly.
Show off.
And I think part of the reason is, like, I stream games like PUBG, Fortnite. I stream big FPS games because those are the games I really enjoy playing, but no one's going to find me when I'm playing PUBG. There's, like, unless you scroll, like, over halfway down the list, you're not going to find me.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way. I'm not relevant enough that you're going to find me. In that whole list of people, there's no way.
It's just not going to happen. Like, as stupid and as depressing as it sounds, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, there's just no fucking way. You're not gonna find me down here. I'm way at the bottom. I have no relevance on Twitch right now. I'm not even a fucking affiliate. Like, I have no relevance on Twitch. So I'm stuck way down at the bottom.
I'm way past the follower requirement.
Oh yeah, it's the average viewers. It's a pain in the dick.
Yeah. Exactly.
The average viewers is cucking me.
It's difficult because you want to keep playing all these big games that you really enjoy, but as you've been saying you've experienced, you just can't get your viewership that way.
Yeah. I mean, even the people who follow me, like, they don't necessarily come in here and watch. Like, they enjoyed for a little bit, but I'm not a mainline streamer, so they'll go watch a mainline streamer, someone with a lot of viewers and people that are watching them, because it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it in a way that doesn't make you sound like a piggybacker.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like I'm watching these guys because they're big and all these other guys are watching them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they've obviously got something going on that makes people want to watch them.
Yeah.
So I'll just watch them.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than the small guy who, hey, could be way more enjoyable to watch, but you're not going to take that risk.
Yeah, exactly. It's safer to watch the big guy who has success because you figure, well, he must have got his success because he was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Because the one thing that nobody can get more nowadays, ever, really, is time.
That's true.
So, people don't want to waste theirs.
Yep.
If you go up to someone and go, yo, would you want to spend 5 hours with me watching me paint a wall and then watch it dry? chances are, no, like 100% of the time, they're gonna say no. Fuck that. That sounds boring.
Yeah, no, that exactly.
Because like
That is
why
fucking
would
boring. Who the fuck would want to do that?
they would want to use their time doing something else, whether it be working or relaxing and enjoying some other kind of media.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is that they're not gonna want to go ahead and experience whatever the hell that may offer, because there's just no point in giving it a go.
Yeah, exactly. It's a risk that they don't really want to take.
Exactly.
Now, if they were to pop on their thing someday and say, see that I had like 20 viewers, they're like, hey, I remember following this guy a while back. He's got 20 viewers. Maybe I'll go check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what the biggest thing is that I don't have? What? Tits.
Yeah, that's another thing. Because obviously the internet is a big boy now, and it has its own captivating kind of call of use, right? The internet is used for everything now, but which means that people can now watch things to satisfy some level of I guess without any other better way to describe it, to satisfy their visual desire.
Yeah. Like take a look at I'm just gonna throw her under the bus because fuck this, I don't care, no one's ever gonna see this anyway. Take a look at Amaranth. What does she do? Fucking nothing. She does nothing. She sits in a fucking bra and like fucking what I can only call panties on her fucking stream and plays Just Dance. That's what she does. Or she'll do fucking ASMR, which is the biggest joke of Twitch. The content they're putting out is so fucking bad. There is no level of content to it. They literally do whatever they can to make their boobs bounce more. That's literally what they're looking at as far as content goes. What makes my boobs bounce more? Just Dance? Let's fucking go.
Yeah, exactly.
But they get viewerships because she's a extremely hot girl sitting there in a fucking bra and panties. She's pretty much in a bathing suit.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able, like, the reason these popular content creators exist is because, one, human interaction, like face-to-face human interaction, has never been at its lowest, as far as I consider saying.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're not wrong.
Like, I get it's ironic saying that over the internet to someone halfway across the world.
But like you and me would talk face-to-face the same way. Like it.
Oh yeah.
Our interaction would not change.
No. And not only that, is like, these people set their expectations of like, oh, maybe if I support and watch and donate to this person, maybe they'll like me and maybe something will happen.
Yeah,
it never does.
It's like that fucking twisted mentality of maybe I'll be the one, and it's just like it's the stupidest thing because you'll also see this in like when the CS:GO days. Like there was a girl that I used to play with who got given like two $400 knives and like another $200 knife and a couple other skins by these random guys for no reason who just bought her these skins. And it's like, I'm sure you probably flirted with them a little bit because you knew you could get away with it, but what did they think was gonna happen?
That was
like, she was gonna be like, I have to have you now and fucking fly halfway across the world and fuck them? Like, no!
Like, if they wanted to get physical that bad, they would have just spent their money on the tickets rather than the items.
Yeah, like, it's just like...
And even then, that doesn't guarantee shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'll buy you a plane ticket for $500, you wanna come fuck?
People...
Like, no.
People expect that because they can...
Porn has ruined our world.
Money. Yeah.
People expect life to be like a porno.
Oh, dude, to our left.
Yep, I see.
To our left. But, as we were saying, like, people expect that because they can be risky with these kinds of things nowadays, because what else are they gonna do?
Yeah.
They sit inside all day. They're not active. They don't need to...
I mean, I sit inside all day too, but like, I don't expect any of this shit to happen. I'm not of this. I'm not of this mentality though. Like, there's some people that are just of a really warped mentality now on the internet. That
Exactly.
it's a mentality that doesn't make sense, but for some reason these people think it, and
It's stupid.
it's just really dumb. It's really dumb. There's no other way to put it. It's just stupid. But like, it's the way it works right now, and it's kind of dumb. Anyway, but we're a little bit off topic.
Give me a second.
We're a little bit
Oh,
off.
no.
We're a little bit off topic of content creation, but
Yeah, but as far as it goes,
this kind of all
when
ties
it
in though,
comes to
because it's kind of like what people like.
yeah, when it comes to creating, yeah, that actually ties in really well with what you're saying. Because we're talking about, oh no, has my game crashed?
I hope not. I mean,
Oh,
you'll be
yeah,
able to
I hope
reboot,
not
but
too.
you'll automatically keep running because that's just how the game works right now. If
Yeah.
you crash, you just
But,
run, so you'll be fine. But
Yeah, it just closed.
okay.
But
you'll be fine.
but people, content needs personality to survive.
Mhm.
There's no other way around that. It needs that humanity.
Exactly.
Whereas even in like movies, even the greatest of movies, where you can feel how human and how real these characters are, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you know their characters.
You know their characters, yeah, exactly. It's like making an
They're
emotional,
nothing more than
but you want to be able to make an emotional connection. Like in any movie, a lot of its success is measured by how much of an emotional connection you can make to that character or that storyline, how much it makes you feel this or that, and that's what a lot of success is
Exactly.
based on. And streaming is the exact same fucking way.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah, no.
definitely gonna die. There's no way I can't.
The personality, like even as we were saying in like these big movies, you know it's just performance.
Yeah.
Whereas in content creation, sure, it still can be.
Like
To
Doctor
an
Disrespect is a performance. That's
Yeah,
all it is. But
it is completely a performance. But he doesn't show. You don't really. Whenever he makes that, like whenever he talks in public, and
he keeps
like,
that persona when he's in public
yeah,
talking about his
he
stream.
has
He
that.
keeps that persona. It's not like a temporary persona for only on stream. He keeps that.
The only time the only time you will see or he will use the persona other than what is shown on stream is when he is completely disconnected from that name.
Yeah, he doesn't want.
In real life, when he's out doing his shopping.
Yeah, or like
He won't walk
like when
around
something
with that fucking
serious happens. Like, well, he actually does have a mustache.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously.
The
but
the,
like,
the
he
mustache is
won't-
his, but the wig and everything isn't. Obviously, he has different hair.
He won't. The parts of him that are obviously fabricated.
He doesn't keep
gone.
that persona. Yeah, they're gone.
Personality is what separates self-made creations on sites like YouTube.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm so
And-
dead.
Indie film.
Yeah.
They can all technically be
Oh, I'm
categorized.
so dead. Oh, I didn't actually take that much damage. Holy shit. Sorry. Continue.
They can all be categorized in the same way if you look at it from a strictly definition. But personality is what really makes the difference. If your personality is as flavorful as a bundle of cards, then you're not going anywhere.
I love your description.
However, if you've got a rich, unique outlook and like just an enjoyable sense of offering
Mhm.
that you have to provide to your content, then people are gonna love you all the more for that.
Yeah.
There is no way in hell, other than the dirty Twitch starts, that
This guy's on your left immediate, by the way, up on that rock. Up on the
yeah,
rock.
that's
Upright, upright. Oh,
Whoa.
he was upright. You
Okay.
saw his head, but.
Yeah. But yeah, there is no way in hell that, especially in say like YouTube, there is no way in hell that lazy content will ever beat out sheer, hard-working, dedicated creators. It just won't happen.
Yeah. I mean, there's some people, like, I don't want to bash all females on Twitch. There are some females on Twitch who genuinely want to put out good content. Like, I'll use Pokemon as an example. She's a really good streamer. She's a really respectable streamer. And she doesn't use the fact that she's extremely attractive to get ahead. I'm sure it helps a little bit, not her fault. She puts out clean content. She doesn't wear revealing clothing. And she'll literally try to hide, like, if she's, like, doing stuff, she will try not to, like, show her ass off to the camera whenever possible. She tries to put out respectable content.
I actually watch another creator like that. Ghoul Runnings. She's mainly Nintendo based,
Okay.
which should say something in and of itself about her channel.
Yeah.
Right. Very, very appropriate, family friendly.
Yeah.
But even though she does do things like cosplaying and things like that, which is just like something she enjoys doing, she doesn't abuse the fact that she is attractive, which she is quite attractive.
Oh, I think a lot of the
abuse that.
Yeah, she doesn't abuse it to give her viewership. I mean, we're not gonna no one's gonna pretend that it's not helping her, because it definitely is.
Oh yeah.
But she's not trying to do that. It's just naturally how she looks, so she has that little,
It's just how things ended up.
Yeah.
It's quite literally luck of the genetic pool.
Exactly. Yeah. It's genetic luck more than anything else, and I mean, like, it's people like Amaranth and stuff that are just like, I mean, I get, like, that's the kind of content you want to put out, fine, and it works for you, great, but, like, no one thinks she's serious. She even has a Patreon where she'll post, like, almost fully nude pics of herself for, like, $100. No one thinks a person like that is serious. No one takes them seriously, except the people who are stuck in their oogly googly fanboy eyes who want nudes.
Dirty little dirty little fantasies.
I actually I am still followed to her. I'm not gonna lie. I am still followed to her, but I am banned from her chat for saying stupid shit. I am permanently banned from her chat. So I never unfollow anybody because I don't really give a shit either way whether or not they're there. But I don't watch her content because she doesn't have content. There's no content there to be watched.
There are breasts to be watched, and that's that.
Well, exactly, and it's not like she's pretending. Like, well, she does pretend. She pretends that's not the thing. That's not what what her content is. But everyone knows that's what her content is. That's why she wears what she wears. No one's gonna pretend she wears that clothing because it's comfortable. Baggy clothing is comfortable. That's slutty.
Oh yeah. Like, I hate leaving the house in anything other than jeans. If I leave the house for, like, college,
I'll wear track pants
or anything like that, I will leave the house in jeans.
I'll wear track pants. I don't care.
Honestly, up until very recently, like maybe the past month or so,
yeah,
I never really. I have jogging bottoms or tracksuit, whatever. Like, I have baggy trousers.
Yeah.
I never wore them because I just hated it. I just preferred the jeans. I just preferred jeans. I felt that they weren't more comfortable, because these are way more comfortable than jeans. But I just preferred them due to the presentability.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's really.
Now, I think a lot of the problem with our world too, though, is that I think a lot of girls feel like they have to dress more slutty now because of the way that, the world works right now. They feel like they have to be sluttier, which they don't. A girl's gonna be attractive either way. If you're attractive, you're attractive. It's just it's straight up. Whether or not you are attractive or not is not gonna matter what you dress in.
Even Margs is very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, sure, she has that kind of saucy, kind of suggestive side to her. But, like, she doesn't show that to just anyone.
I almost shot you. Holy fuck! You scared the shit out of me, dude.
I'm sorry, Matt. I was just here for cover. But, when it comes to, I think my jeans versus joggers point is, as stupid as it sounds, it's a really good analogy, in my opinion, for what your priorities should be when it comes to wanting to become a professional at whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't just go for content creation. It goes for literally anything.
Fair
It
enough.
doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how comfortable you are with it.
It's how you present
If-
yourself.
It's how you present yourself. If I went to a job interview wearing what I am now, there's no way I'm getting that job. However, if I dress smartly, present myself in a nice way, and just be appropriate for the role, just like show myself as an appropriate like standard,
Yeah.
then 9 times out of 10, I will leave a good impression.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's no way that a tracksuit, in my opinion anyway, is in any way more attractive, not just in a physical, like in a like ooh, that's hot kind of sense.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that a tracksuit is more attractive to presentability than a suit and tie.
Did you jump?
My mouse wasn't responding, so I was trying to get it to.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've jumped now. But yeah, there's no way casual wear is ever gonna be better picked than full form.
Mhm.
Oh, and that's another thing I really want to say for any kind of creative or even just debative minds out there. For those who really want to go ahead and say, like, speak their minds about topics or really give their opinion on things, if you're holding back on that because you don't want to possibly cause any controversy, or you want to keep your presentability up by not stirring shit, basically, give up on that. Don't bother.
Some of the most popular streamers out there are people who are constantly fucking just talking shit about other streamers. Like, literally, you could make a stream off talking shit about other streamers. Like, that's literally a thing you could do.
It's not even that. Like,
It's just the drama.
people nowadays will take offense to the smallest of details. There is literally no reason for people to focus on staying unoffendable, and, well, not unoffendable, but unoffensive, inoffensive.
It's an unrealistic expectation to think that no one's ever going to be offended by your content when people get offended by the world's stupidest shit nowadays. Like,
obviously
there's some things that you shouldn't say. That is a given. There are certain things that are acceptable and unacceptable morally and socially.
But opinions on things that aren't, like, opinions on things that aren't morally or even like even like intellectually wrong, like opinions that aren't quite blatantly bad to think. Say, like,
I want to use this conversation as an example. I guarantee you, there would be somebody out there who would get offended by this conversation we're having.
yeah.
There's
like,
nothing wrong with this conversation. It's a completely respectable conversation about true shit, but someone out there would get offended by this. For no fucking reason. We'd be confused out of our minds, but there would be a group of people, probably a decent group of people, that would get offended by what we are saying.
Because, yeah, there's going to be someone who's going to see this and be like, oh, well, I've been try-harding at this for years now, and I've gotten nowhere. Well, you and me both, brother. Don't. Like,
yeah, it's not just you. Everyone, there's a lot of people out there who have been there.
The fact of it is like,
it's about realization of the topic, but it's also about acceptance of the topic.
It's not just about trying to remain inoffensive. It's about when, like, it's not just about making
It
sure
helps
that
if you're
not
it
guilty.
helps if you're relatable.
Mm.
Being relatable is one of the biggest key things you can do as a streamer to make it so that people will want to watch your content. If you're relatable, people will want to watch you.
Mm. It's like it's all fun and games if you're really good at fun games, right? Like
that was really fucking.
that was
Jesus
type of
Christ,
wordplay,
Ed.
right?
That was, oh god damn it, Ed. There's so many things I can say right now. Oh man.
You gotta admit the wordplay was alright, but
that was a little cringy.
but it's all well and good being good at what you're doing.
Mhm.
But if you're not showing that you're still an enjoyable person, then there's nothing to you unless your content is purely about showing off that skill.
Yeah.
Which, to the most part, nobody. I can only think of one channel I've ever seen which is specifically about showing that they're good at games, and nowadays they don't even play the game they were good at anymore. Like as far as I've seen on their videos, they just
I don't know. I feel like a lot of Ninja's content is just showing that he's good at Fortnite, which is why he's dying.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that guy who constantly just bashes Ninja, but he doesn't have a ton of personality, and the personality that he shows, a lot of people are getting pretty pissed off at.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Like when he was first growing, he was like a knight. He was a impressive. I'd dare to say impressive anyway. It was an impressive personality.
Yeah.
He had both the skill set and the person, like the humanity,
Mhm.
and the relatability behind him to make him as big as he is. But as he grew, he lost that touch of relatability and
Mhm. Agreed.
and inclusiveness of his content.
Agreed. Now it's just kind of about.
Now it's more about him screeching about Epic Games not doing anything.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of
getting-
clips out there about him right now of him getting mad because Epic Games isn't recognizing him as a prime streamer for their game. And he actually is getting mad about that type of shit. And it's like, okay, you're playing their game. That doesn't mean they have to recognize you. You shouldn't be begging for their recognition in the first place. Like, is this really the type of person you want to be? Is this really the type of content creator you want to be? Like, it's a little bit sad because he should be happy about where he is. Look how many people aren't there. Look at what you get to do with your life.
He's on national television.
He's on national television for playing Fortnite.
A fucking game.
Like, for being good at Fortnite, he's made national television. Why do you need recognition from the game you're playing? Why do you need to stoop that low and get that mad about the stupidest, simplest shit?
It's not like he hasn't gotten the recognition either.
Yeah, he just hasn't gotten the recognition from fucking Fortnite itself.
Epic Games. Like,
and to be fair, he has got the recognition from Epic Games because look at what he's doing tonight. He's literally doing an entirely Fortnite-sponsored New Year's Eve stream that has over 100,000 people watching him right now.
There's no way he can act like he's been left out. Quite frankly, it's just...
I knew I heard somebody!
Should've just shut out the tires. But,
I could've, but I wanted to try and go for the headshot on the player.
But, yeah, the point is, like, that's the reason Shroud is still, personally, one of my favorite content creators. Because...
Shroud is a very down-to-earth guy.
Yeah, even though he's very skilled, and he's really popular, and he's really... I can't stress this enough, he's really good at games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, anything he touches, he's
even while he's playing PUBG, he will interact with his viewers in game. Like he'll stop and have conversations with them in game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's that simple shit that just it makes him a good streamer. It makes him a fun person to watch. No, he's up the hill.
No, never mind. Okay. There are sometimes, obviously, he'll like jokingly say like, "Oh yeah, thanks for the donations. I guess I was kind of expecting it." You know, that kind of just jokey bullshittery. Like there have been times where he kind of like jokes about the arrogancy that can come from the success that he's achieved.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, he always keeps his appearance in check. He's got that ability to look at those arrogant moments where he's obviously just parodying.
Yeah.
He's obviously just parodizing the arrogancy that people get. But he still looks back on that and goes, "That was a dick move."
Yeah.
Like he still like acknowledges the fact that regardless of what the intent was behind what he said, but regardless of how he said it or how it was presented, if he says something that is dickish, then it's going to affect him, regardless of if it's a joke.
Yeah.
Hell, just look at PewDiePie, for instance. He had a clean record, a clean slate, up until what happened early 2018.
What was her name?
I don't think I need to mention.
Was that the creation of the Twitch thought? Is that what tarnished it?
That was when he was playing PUBG on stream.
Oh, you're right. Yep, I remember.
He had a perfectly clean slate. Nothing wrong with him.
Yep.
The moment he slipped up, that one time in public,
he got screwed over for it.
It went downhill.
Yep.
He wasn't even in YouTube Rewind. He's the biggest content creator.
He made his own YouTube Rewind.
Yeah.
Which people like more than the regular YouTube Rewind, which is really funny.
It's funny as fuck. But he fucked up that one time.
Yeah, and people tore him apart for it.
And people on YouTube, and the people behind YouTube,
Twitch,
people working at YouTube, don't want anything to do with him.
And Twitch, they just rid
a lot of
him
flack
off.
For it.
Yeah.
For one simple verbal slip up.
Yeah. You gotta be really careful with that kind of stuff. I get that that's not a good word, but like, come on, man,
Yeah.
like it's not like. It's the context behind how people mean it. Like, you have to look at the context of what they're saying, not what they're actually saying. Like, if I say the F word, like, you know, the one we were talking about earlier, that might have been, that's possibly a food, or the N word, I'm not a racist person. I'm not a homophobe. I don't care. Do what you want to fucking do. The way I'm using it is just as a word that I feel flows well with what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And that I know everybody else knows that it's kind of relatable to a fucker. Like, something like that. It's not,
like,
I'm racist. I'm not saying because he's black he's worse than me, if I'm saying that word. That's not what I'm saying.
I think what sucks is that people are all about the racial equality and...
In this day and age, it's just people are too sensitive.
Yeah. It's like, because it has such implications, or it had such implications.
Yeah.
Like,
and
even
it's really dumb. It's really dumb because the hypocriticalness. Like people will say the N-word on stream if they're black and they won't get banned because they're black. Black people can say it. We can't. But like we don't mean it in a bad way. If I'm walking down the street and I look at somebody and I say, what a, you know, like that guy's a effing something. Like, no, that's obviously I'm meaning it in a bad way towards that person because he's black, hands down. But if I don't know whether this guy's black, white, orange, yellow, like, and I say that, I'm not meaning it like I hate him because he's this color. Like, that's not what I'm. That's not what my head is at.
You're not assuming that he is of that kind of complexion.
Yeah.
And then, as such, disliking him because of said thing.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
obviously done something to entice the fact that you want to say something very like offensive and or like just relieving, like stress relieving to you. You just want to say something to
Like-
produce that. Like,
There was
present that
one girl.
frustration.
There was one girl on Twitch though. She's Spanish and I can't remember her name. Who got banned for 30 days because she got mad at somebody and she called him, the F word in Spanish. Fair enough. She got herself unbanned after 2 days and then went on to talk and say the exact same word 4 or 5 times and never got banned again for it. She's like, it was like muddy con or something. It was something, I don't know exactly how to say it. I'm good. I don't know how to say it because I don't want to get banned. But
Yeah.
she went on to say it so many more times and then goes and tries to backpedal and say, well, in Spanish that actually has multiple meanings and I didn't mean it like that. Bullshit!
You definitely meant it like that, and you definitely should have taken.
And on top of everything else, the dev the person from what's it called who actually banned her, who people assume banned her, she immediately went and talked shit about. And then she was racist to them. She's like, "Oh, these guys are friends, and it's probably because they're the same race. They're the same color, so they must be friends." Which is what she actually said. Those are her exact words. First off, the guy she was talking about, there was a Middle Eastern man,
Yes.
and a white man.
Oh, I hear a car, by the way. But yeah.
And
That.
like, it's just the stupidest shit. And it's because she's a girl on Twitch that gets viewership, and she's attractive. That is why she got unbanned. If it was a guy, he would not be unbanned. I guarantee it.
He
And
would
it's
be permabanned.
it's the exact same way our world is. Our world is this entire way right now. If a woman does the exact same crime as a man, let's say having sex with an underage person, the man is so much more fucking screwed over than the girl.
Because
She's so
because
fucked.
of how
He's so
yeah,
fucked compared to her.
Because with how history has just played out in terms of the whole stigma that grew over, especially like the 80s and things, of how like the men are the breadwinners, right? They're the ones who are responsible, and the women are just there. Is basically how it was presented back in the day, right?
Yeah.
How it was.
Yeah.
If because of those implications nowadays, that things are very much more like equal in race, gender, sexuality.
Well, see,
all of these.
That's the problem. They're not, as much as people want them to be, they're definitely not equal in gender, because women have it so much easier right now than men do. Men do one thing, slip up in this tiniest way, and a woman can ruin their life instantly.
A good example, I'd think, like a good
There's one
I guess
woman,
theoretical
there's
example.
one woman who ruined this guy's life with a false, like she knew 100%, false accusation of rape. It ruined his life.
Oh no, I actually heard something even like pretty much exactly like that. There are these girls that didn't like this one dude in their class, so they accused him of rape. Falsely, obviously. They never really talked to the guy. They just kind of thought he was an asshole for no reason, really.
Yeah.
They accused him of rape. He went to prison for years. And when asked about why they falsely accused him, obviously they were imprisoned after the fact.
Yeah.
But when they were asked about it, they were just like, oh, didn't like the guy. What?
Yeah.
No.
You literally ruined his life.
He's gonna go apply for a job. They're gonna see that, oh, he has, even if it now says false accusation on, it's on his record.
Yeah. He's now seen as a rapist. A sex offender. It's there.
There have been times where quote unquote falsely accused people have been proven guilty later down the line. It's not common, but it has happened.
Yeah, but it's just the way the world works right now. It's just like, it's so shitty that a woman can do that to a guy, but she can do that. She can ruin his life by saying he raped me, and people are inclined to believe the woman. If a guy said that about a woman, no one would fucking believe him. She would be fine. Until she was proven guilty, she would be 100% fine. She'd probably keep her job. People would probably give her sympathy because some guy was trying to ruin her life, quote unquote, even if she wasn't guilty. Like, No one would fucking ruin that woman. That wouldn't ruin that woman's life.
I've seen like posts on like meme accounts I've followed on Instagram things where it'd be like, female teacher slept with student, and obviously they're arrested for it. And then people in the comments are like, "Yo, props to that guy for getting with his teacher." However, if it was a male teacher,
they would be like, the comments would be like, disgusting.
Then,
he should be in prison.
They'd literally just be like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?"
Yeah, it'd be like, that guy's disgusting. He should rot in prison. Like, yada yada yada, on and on and on and on.
And,
like,
I'd sit and I'd read through it, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, obviously, props to the dude who managed to
sleep with his teacher. I mean, he probably wanted to do it. It's not like he was forced into it. He probably wanted to do it at that age. If you know you're in that position, if your teacher's hot, you're like, fuck it, let's go. But like,
they'd be in their mid-teens, really hormonal. But the thing is, it's even though they legally can't consent, they still technically in theoretical, like in the actual definition of consent, they could.
Yes.
In what defines as consent, they could consent.
The only one I've ever heard of a case like that where the woman got in trouble didn't make sense to me because the students were 18. Which didn't make sense. They're legal, exactly. But she got in trouble. Which didn't make sense because they're 18. They're legal. But it's because they are labeled as students. Which, I mean, is besides the point of this whole argument. I mean, but I feel like putting that out there.
In Britain, I'm pretty sure it'll be the same with you. Even though we're in college and we're like 18 and all that, we're not allowed to add our professors on any platform, on any social media platform, because it's just the safeguarding purpose, right? The educational institutes have rules in place to prevent any kind of predatory acts from going on, which includes keeping the person
behind the car.
Oh,
behind the rest of that truck.
Yeah.
Just one guy by himself.
Obviously, it's to keep the teachers and the students' personal lives.
Keep an eye out for him.
As separate and.
Oh, that was close.
I'm dropping down. As separate and as like.
Go, run. He's going back to the car. Go.
Yeah. So, there are rules in place that make sense when it comes to things like this.
He just died.
There are some things that just don't make sense about how people perceive interactions of this caliber. There are people up to the houses of the left. I saw them moving.
Yeah, no, I shot them a couple times.
It's just a matter of ironing out, because obviously everybody wants to say like, oh, males and females, we're all equal in the eyes of the law, which to some extent, like, we all have to abide by the same laws. That is objectively true. There's no arguing that. However, the repercussions of breaking said laws, they do differ. Like, there are certain things that people get off with a lighter sentence with because they're white or because they're female, male. Like, as far as the law is concerned, it's unequal. There are parts that just...
I mean, there's certain crimes where you'll get the same punishment no matter what because it's a serious crime, but...
Like, murder.
Murder is definite. You get this punishment, you're a fucking horrible person, you just took a life. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting away from that,
like,
buddy.
That's why war crimes are a thing. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that human lives are so important, even in this day and age where there's 7 billion plus people in the world, if it wasn't for the fact that us as a species have said each and every single one of those countless lives have worth, regardless of how they're used. If it wasn't for that case, for that fact, there would be a lot lesser implications for things like that.
But it's because of that.
It's because of those things.
Which
But
that is 100% right. Everyone's life has
Yeah.
value, no matter what.
But that's besides the point. It's more. There are certain things that
Here, hold up for a second.
even outside of like illegal action things, like there are just some parts. There are just some things that people do where if a woman does it, it's seen as just quirky or just a bit cheeky. But if a guy does it, he's a creep. Like, if a woman messages a guy just out and go, send me some dick pic. She's seen as, ooh, a bit saucy. Like,
Where?
She's just a cheeky little lass. But,
Where?
if a guy randomly messages you, where
It's creepy.
he goes, show me your tits.
It's offensive and creepy.
It's offensive, creepy, and just outright disrespectful. And it doesn't make sense that it doesn't go both ways.
Where was
Obviously,
that guy?
things like that kind of social.
It's the social norm right now, and our social norm is fucked the fuck up.
It's slowly adjusting and properly sorting itself out. But
Very,
the fact that
very
it's still
slowly.
a problem and things like that are this slight of a difference, causing such a big issue in people's minds, is fucking ridiculous. The case of the fact that people want said equalities and still have these.
I'm not as good with as the carnate kids I used to be.
And still have these like taboos implanted into their brain. The fact that it's still.
I hit him. Oh my god. Oh, I just missed.
The fact that it's still such a bad thing to talk about certain aspects of life as it is nowadays. The fact that it's the fact that people can be criminalized for such an act as to just speak poorly about certain action. Stupid. It's just completely, utterly stupid. It makes no sense.
I know it's many hours too late, but Happy New Year. It's 12:30 for me.
Oh, Happy New Year's. It is 5:30. I should really have
my dad just comes in and goes, Happy New Year. I was like, wait, what? My fucking clock is 12:30. Oh, cool.
Just slides in like, Happy New Year.
It's like, wait, it's just like, wait, what? Oh, cool. Okay.
Yo, straight up though, we're like this year in 2019, me and you are gonna become the next like the new norm of social justice warrior, but in a sense where rather than the whole everything's offensive, go fuck yourself. Oh wait, I just offended myself.
We're the casual social justice warriors.
Rather than the SJWs that are all like, oh, you can't say anything that is even remotely offensive. We're the kind that's more just like, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
But there is the law of free speech. That is the point.
Well, yeah. If people take offense, that's their problem. They can be responsible, respectful adults and talk to you about it like a normal person. But if they screech about it, fuck them.
Well, it is all dependent on interpretation and implication. If you're meaning to be offensive, then yeah, sure, you can get mad and be offended by them. But if they're just saying it because it's part of the way they speak and they mean no offense to you in any fucking way whatsoever, there's no need to sit there and fucking scream at. Like, there's one guy who makes a really good point. He's a comedian who talks about his retarded sister. And whenever he says something about her, he makes the very good point that, who are you getting offended for? No one asked you to be offended on their behalf. You're not doing anybody any good. It's his sister. Fuck off, is exactly what he says. It's my sister.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Because whenever he says a joke about her and people go silent, he goes, why are you silent? It's my sister. She didn't ask you to be offended for her. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of mentality that it's just like, he's 100% right. Who are you being offended for? No one asked you to do that for them. If they're offended, they'll let you know they're offended.
If they're not directly in, like, if they're not directly relating to it from personal experience. Say, like, if someone said, "Oh, I was walking down the street the other day and I saw someone fucking shaking around on the ground, like they were having a seizure. What's up with that?" And got a couple of laughs out of it. And it turned out, and then he followed on, "Oh yeah, it turned out that guy was having a heart attack." I am in all of my right to be offended, because personally, I am of very high risk of such things, just due to medical history and things. I have no right to be offended, but obviously the joke will be presented way better than that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like, you have to take into effect, you have to take into the like mentality that it's a joke. He's not meaning that guy's a retarded, seizing, stupid person who he despises. It's a joke of something that he encountered that he goes, well, if I present it in this way, that's what a lot of jokes are. A lot of jokes are extremely dark in nature.
It's just how they say it.
It's how they present it, and it's not like they actually mean it.
I was about to follow up in the sense that even if a joke like that was made, I wouldn't be offended, purely because, one, it's a joke. I don't need to be. They're just saying it for the sense of entertaining both themselves and the audience.
Yeah.
And two, it's not like he genuinely didn't care for the person. If he didn't care for the person, he wouldn't have remembered it.
Yeah.
If he genuinely had less of a fuck to give to the person who was having a medical problem,
I hate my life right now, dude.
Right,
I actually hate my life.
On the street, if he couldn't care less for that person, he wouldn't have remembered to write that joke.
Yeah. He obviously thought about that person again and went, oh
exactly.
shit. I don't know what he was going through.
Exactly.
And he didn't know how to help.
And the fact that, with my example, he then followed up to say what the cause was, obviously shows the fact that he cared enough to follow up and go, what was up with him? Is he okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Or him or her, whatever. We're not here to assume genders. Fuck you.
I hate that you have to say that now. I really do. I hate that people have to say, I don't mean to assume your gender, but no. I'm a very opinionated person. Anyone who actually knows me, like, people who don't know me very well think I'm a quiet person that just kind of rolls with the flow. I'm a very opinionated person.
You're very opinionated.
I am very opinionated, and I am of the opinion that there are two genders, and fuck you, you guys are stupid. That is my opinion. I'm going to sit on that opinion. There are two genders. They are defined very distinctively in the dictionary. Shut the fuck up.
The way I kind of see it is they're very similar in definition, but they're slightly different. Is where, like,
where's your body?
There's
Here, quiet for a second. Sorry, quiet for a second. There's your buddy.
God damn it.
Fucking in a ghillie suit. Ah! What's his health? No! Come on! I missed no!
What was his health? What was his health?
It's literally 2.
Aww. Anyway.
It's literally like that little sliver of a bar that barely counts for health, but keeps you alive anyway. Ah.
There's the term sex, and there's the term gender. How I personally define it is the sex is your physical orientation of how you'd reproduce, what your body is born with and is physically capable of doing when it comes to sexual reproduction. And then there's gender, which is whatever the hell you decide to identify. I think that's as close to a reasonable and accepting and open-minded way of thinking about it. I'm not trying to remain inoffensive. I just think that I shouldn't go out of my way to go ahead and say that fuck you, what you say about who you are is wrong.
Well, see, here's the thing. The fact that you say you identify as a different gender, I find is completely ridiculous. Because, okay, you're a more masculine woman. You say you pursue more masculine things. People call them tomboys. You pursue more masculine things. They literally have genders that I'm this gender because I'm this type of woman. No, you're a fucking woman. You just act this way. It doesn't make you a different gender. It just means you act this way underneath the gender that you are. People act differently depending on the person. People act differently depending on the person, but you don't get to go out and outright say, I'm a different gender. No. You act a certain way in your current gender.
I am, as you would definitely, I'm quite the, I'd say one of the more almost like emotionally sensitive, almost feminine types of people. I'm someone who is like that. I just am like that. That's just who I am. I don't get offended easily, no, but I sure as hell take things to heart pretty quick. Which some people would say, oh, that means you get offended. Not really. I can still feel like something was of impact to me without being offended by it. Someone could say something to me like, oh, whenever you do this, you seem like a fucking idiot. People can say that to me. I can't be offended by it because it's just them saying what they think.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to get offended by that. That's their opinion. They're in all their right to share that. But I can still take it to heart and go, wow, I've been doing this a lot. I must seem like a real fucking idiot. Like, I just have to look like a stupid person because of
Yeah.
I'm just that kind of person. Just because I'm that doesn't mean I'm gonna say, oh, I identify as a bodybuilder. No. That's not how that works. I agree with you there. I agree with you like completely in that. Where are we dropping, by the way? Oh, Paradise. Gotcha.
It's pretty far, so I think we can get away with it.
But yeah, as far as things like that go, it's difficult to say this while trying to remain as, I know it's ironic saying earlier that you need to say fuck you to people who take offense so quickly, but when it comes to getting your message across with this kind of thing, I have to try to remain inoffensive just so people will have the heart to listen, because that's just how people are now. Like, I'm not gonna say that I have many flaws, mainly physical, but if you actually know me as a person, then that's gonna make a lot more sense and be a lot more funny to you. But if you don't, well, I'll explain at a later date. But
Yep.
But as far as things go with say,
You didn't get away with killing my friend and not die? You think again, bitch.
But like, cause I have a lot of imperfection. Afraid to say that. Everybody does. Nobody's perfect. If you really have some idea in your head that someone you look up to or admire, say it's someone you are sexually, emotionally attracted to, whatever, if you have it in your head that they are perfect and they have zero flaws whatsoever,
you're
being ignorant and you should stop.
Yeah, your thoughts are warped. You need to fix them.
You're not doing yourself any favors. You're not doing them any favors. If the person they truly care about and love is thinking that they're perfect and that there is no way they can improve as a person and become better, you're not helping them.
Yeah.
But that aside,
that grenade just made me jump. Jesus fucking Christ! It actually scared the shit out of me. Holy fuck.
That aside,
I am downright serious right now when I say I literally jumped in my chair when that grenade went off.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, the game before this one, when you peeked around the rock and immediately flicked and shot the dude? The moment when you flicked and shot, like...
Oh my god!
But, yeah. The fact of the matter is, everybody has imperfections.
Oh.
And nowadays, people are scared of that.
Yeah.
People act like certain personalities and celebrities are strong because they've made a sudden change in themselves that they felt was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Caitlyn Jenner. Or was it Caitlyn Jenner, or was that her daughter?
No, it's
I honestly can't remember.
Caitlyn, Kylie. I don't fucking know.
I think it's Caitlyn
All I know
Jenner.
is it used to be Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a! Stop shooting me for 5 seconds! Ah! I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, people see her like some hero because they took such a drastic change in their life that's irreversible as far as I'm aware.
See, the funniest thing I see, and I completely agree with this, is that even if you believe or you don't believe in this whole movement, it's people feel like she shouldn't. I'm gonna call him he because this is my belief, and fuck you guys if you get mad at my belief. This is my belief.
No. If people get offended by what you think, then fuck them.
This is my belief. You guys can believe what you fucking want. I believe that transgenderism is looked at completely wrong. I believe that it should be tried to be treated somewhere else. Because
we have a friend who is transgender.
And I've said this openly. I've said this openly to them. I know, like I believe what I believe, and I feel like it's treated completely wrong because the suicide rate is the same no matter what. If you've had the surgery, if you don't have the surgery, people still have the exact same suicide rate, which means it's not actually helping at all. They're still confused. They still don't know what they want, and it's in the long run hurting them as a person and not helping them to say that you must identify them as this person. And that's how I stand on that belief. But this person is rich, high standings in the community, and for a very, 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 very long time, hid away from the world and was able to use this amount of money and fame that they had in order to create the exact person they wanted to be.
Yeah.
99% of people do not have this luxury. So viewing this person as a hero for being so quote-unquote brave, no. This person wasn't brave. They waited until the world was in a position to accept people like them in order to come out to the public with it. They hid away for years.
If they did the same thing 10 years ago, people would look at them as the first freak of their kind, as it were, without just being as blunt as it would be.
Yeah.
Because back in 2008, nothing really like that was socially accepted.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't. It just wasn't really a thing.
Mm-hmm. But like, oh, M24, look at that. Sexy.
But,
I want it.
But the fact that, because obviously, Caitlyn wanted to become this person. I'm just assuming it's Caitlyn because Kylie Jenner sounds like
I think it's Caitlyn.
daughter. That's just from what I can.
I'm
think.
pretty
I could be wrong.
I'm pretty positive it's Caitlyn.
Yeah, but so Caitlyn did become who they want to be, but they're not brave purely for the fact that they waited.
Yeah.
To become that person. If they really, really, really were brave and inspirational.
That made me
like
jump
that.
too, but that was more acceptable to make me jump. Someone shot me. Found you.
If they really were like a brave soul, and I'm not saying like
they jumped off the wall. I think, right?
They're not inspirational to some, because obviously.
Okay, fuck off.
Because obviously they did.
Was that his teammate? That was his teammate. Ah, you titty fucking cunt motherfucker.
They already, like, Caitlyn before transition already had a reputation to withhold and maintain as a guy. But if they really needed to become the person they are today, they wouldn't have waited for people to go, oh, actually, why should we care about what... They wouldn't have waited for that. They would have just been like, you guys are all being arseholes. Fuck you. I want to be this. I'm gonna be this. Like, it's the same thing with where a couple years back, if someone said, what I want to do for a living is I want to record and create videos on video games. You said that back in 2012. You are a fucking laughingstock.
I mean, the problem is with a lot of the older generation is it's still not respectable as a career choice. Like I can't go to my parents and be like, this is what I want to do, because it's not respectable career choice to them. If I can do it, like their mentality on it is, if I can do it, great, but you can't. That can't be it can't be mainly what you want to do. You need to want to do something else. You can't have this as your main want, which is bullshit, because if I can't have this as my main dedication, I'm never going to achieve it.
Like, I'm not, like, obviously that is still in its shaky point, but the reason it's still in its shaky point is because careers, to some reason, is like far less important than being who you are, which I do agree to an extent that, yeah, it's important to embrace yourself for how you are and what you've become as a case of growing up, right?
Yeah.
You've matured into what you are today. It's great to embrace that, but I feel like everybody, like, the priorities aren't in check in there, because like not everybody's fully accepting to the idea of transgenderism. You, for instance, like, that's just what you think. Like, I'm not going to try to dissuade you from it. It's just what you believe. I can't change that. Whereas people still have this, like, people, if someone genuinely just really liked sex, they just really liked it more than anything else in the world, which I'd say is a pretty reasonable thing for it's quite a primal instinct, right? To just want sex.
Yeah.
But if someone went to their parents, like, I know what I want to be when I'm older, a porn star. That's not gonna fly.
No, that's not gonna fly. I mean, even we're sitting here laughing about it.
Yeah. Like, there are just...
I mean,
the
thing is that it is a valid career choice if you want to do that, because it's not like it's like this back alley dirty thing.
Yeah.
There are studios, and the people that are doing it are obviously tested and very clean. Like, it's a full-on business now. It's not like it was... Like, people still look at things like they were in the past, and you can't do that because it's not how the world works anymore. That's not where we're at.
Exactly.
Times have changed. They need to figure out... People need to learn how to adapt with it instead of fighting against it all the time.
Like, for instance, with me and you, we both want to make online creations. Like, I want to do a mixture of some music here and there, not mainly, but like, I want to do music as something. But for the most part, I want to make games and make videos on other games that I play. Those are two things I just really want to do. When I first realized that I really enjoy the production and creation of games, and realized that it's a fully realizable goal, but a difficult one. The moment I realized that and told my parents, yo, I want to do this, their first response was, yeah, you could, but don't expect it to work out, especially immediately. Like, their first response was, we'll support you, but don't get your hopes up.
Exactly. It's not seen as an achievable goal. It's seen as like a fantasy, which doesn't help at all. Like, there's certain countries that is it Jello or Fair where they actually went to school for content creation and for professional gaming. They actually have classes for that.
He has a college. He goes to a college-esque institute where they teach him how to grow as a content creator and as a professional player of games, not just like a really good player, but just as an enjoyable.
And it's amazing that some countries have that, and it pisses me off to no end that in North America, where gaming is probably the biggest in the world, that we haven't gotten that yet.
Other than the Asian.
Other than the Asian community, which is mainly really big on StarCraft, I might add. That's like their main niche.
StarCraft League, all of that.
Yeah.
That they're all about the strategy over the.
North America is probably the biggest place for FPS games, for FPS gaming, for professional FPS gaming. One of the biggest places for professional gaming in the world, and we have not adapted to this yet.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, the idea of it, right? It's just like, I want to make...
I think, honestly, one reason I kind of like Ninja is because he's bringing light to the fact that you can do this. This is possible. Because he started out as a professional Halo gamer, went to Fortnite, and look what happened.
Yeah.
The amount of money he's making, like my uncle brought him up when he was down here before. My uncle was talking about him.
Jesus.
Because he's on TV, people know who he is.
Like...
It amazes people that he can make, and the numbers have come out that he was making $500,000 a fucking month.
It's crazy.
And people look at that and they go, holy shit. I didn't know this was actually like this. Like the way, I didn't know it could actually work out like this. I didn't know this was such a big thing. I didn't know it was a possibility. And people are looking at it now and going, holy shit. This can actually turn into something. And it's just starting to dawn on people now that this is a possibility. This can happen.
Yeah. Like, for mine and yours especially, our goals in life is to be happy creating that we're proud of, right?
Yeah.
Our end goal, as it were, is to support ourselves financially, and in any other sense of the term, support. We want to be able to withhold ourselves off of enjoying what we make and what we share to the world.
Exactly.
And it's ridiculous in the sense, in ways that people still hear that and go, you want to express yourself freely and without repercussions and like people judging you? No.
I don't care if people judge me. People can do it. People can say whatever they want to me. I will continue to say this. It is a free fucking country. There is freedom of speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want about me, and I can say whatever the fuck I want about you. And we can have our opinions on each other, and that's the way the world is.
Do you have a Kar 98K? Because there's bullets.
I do have a Kar 98K, actually.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's just... But,
Where?
should be somewhere
underneath the bandages.
Yeah.
Got him.
But yeah, I mean, maybe not like without judgment, because obviously judgment and criticism is
part of humanity.
It's part of the job description, for say.
Yeah, but it's part of humanity. People judge and criticize other people based on their beliefs, and then based on how they act in accordance to your beliefs. It's just how the world works.
Exactly. But like, it's gotten to a point where people hear the fact that people are succeeding at what seemed like such a fantasy-esque concept of I work from home. Also, do you want a red dot stat? I've got a spare.
Wait, what's there, sorry?
I've got a spare red dot if you want.
Okay.
Right. But yeah. So people are finally kind of realizing the fact that people live on their own at that, like they live and work from home doing things that was deemed like basically completely irresponsible and just not even worth bothering with.
Yeah.
A couple years back, and they're making more money than the average worker.
Yeah.
People are finally really... Obviously, this is going to cause an oversaturation in the market. It's become harder to grow as repercussion of the fact. But people are realizing that it isn't a joke.
Yeah, if
It
you have
isn't some fallacy.
people are realizing that if you have quality content, if you have a good personality, if you're able to interact with your audiences and truly create something enjoyable for the community, this is a possibility. You have to put the work in, you have to put the time in, but this is a possibility.
It's kind of crazy that.
And that's definitely why I'm gonna try and start streaming at least 2 times a day now, at least.
It's with 2019. Now
2019 is the
here.
year where I want to grow. This is going to be the year where I want to really make an impact on my channel.
Funnily enough, I was
somewhere.
actually talking to Finn when midnight struck over here. It's now like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is 6 hours ago. But when I was talking to Finn, about what I want to do this year, I have the exact same plans. I want to sort my shit out. I'm sick of waking up every day and going, I'm not doing anything. I haven't got anything planned, and I'm probably, even if I've got all this time to myself, I'm not going to use it, and I'm going to disappoint myself again. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that toxic, like, hatred-inducing rhythm that I built up. And this year, for me, anyway, is about breaking that. I want to shatter that.
We always talked about making a podcast with Craze. The three of us always talked about making a podcast. And I feel like it wouldn't be a bad idea, because we actually have shit to talk about. And the three of us are very opinionated, and I think what makes it interesting is we all have very different opinions on matters.
Yeah.
Like, we all think very differently, and we're all able to voice our opinions. And I figure that probably would make for a pretty decent podcast, because podcast is literally people listening to your conversations about different topics and just seeing where you stand on them, and then being able to relate to your side of the topic.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, I don't know, I just feel like we could do that pretty easily. Because, right now, this is a podcast with gameplay.
This is actually just a podcast.
This is a podcast with gameplay. That's what it is. We're just talking about different topics. It stemmed off of one topic, but then you just kind of like grow into other topics, and then you just kind of express your feelings on that topic.
And that's another part of that growing, like using this year to grow as a person and as a creator. That's another thing that can be done because of said idea.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to create content. That's something I want to use my time on this year. Yeah. That's something I can't stress enough. I want to do this, and I wanted to do this since I was 14 years of age. Maybe even longer. I don't even know anymore. I wanted to be a self-produced, self-built creator. I wanted to create, like, for as long as I've thought about what I want to do with my life. And this year, I think I'm finally actually gonna try and realize at least the first step.
Yeah.
And I think.
Well, I think a lot of content creation and success in content creation also comes from your level of maturity and outlook on the topic. When I was younger, I was extremely discouraged by the fact that I didn't have a lot of viewership. I didn't have a lot of, support, it seemed like. But, as you kind of get older, you just figure out that's just the way our world works.
Yeah.
And it really sucks. I really despise the way our world works as a whole. I hate it. I wish it didn't work this way. I wish it wasn't so focused on money. I wish I would be able to realize my dreams without having to, almost sacrifice them to just survive and be seen as someone who's not a complete failure. But that's not how it works.
Like, even just like a couple months ago, I'd sit there and go, oh, I want to make this video because I feel like it would get a load of views. From just a month of having that time to self-reflect and think, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to achieve with this next coming 365 days? I've had that time to sit and think, I don't care anymore about what becomes of what I create. I just want to create.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make something. I want to do something that makes me feel like I'm actually not wasting myself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think I've noticed that even just in the short time being in this new year, I've noticed that a common mentality between people I know is we're all fed up of waiting.
Yep.
Waiting for that one breakthrough to happen.
Yeah.
So we've all given up on it. We've all given up on that breakthrough of, oh, I'm suddenly really good at this now. Oh, that piece of that video has blown my channel up beyond imagining.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't want to wait for that anymore. So we're not gonna.
And I feel like a lot of
We're
it,
gonna do it.
I think a lot of it has to do with collaboration and supporting each other, especially like one thing that I don't understand at all is whenever I'm trying to like think about, like, say just for example who I stream, who I should host. You don't want to host people who are huge. You don't want to host those types of people because they're not going to host you back. They don't give a shit. Everyone feels they need to host up to get somewhere. If, say, you hosted me, Craze hosted me, I hosted you, I hosted Craze, vice versa, those viewers would slowly leak into each other's channels, and we would grow a lot faster than if I try to fucking promote Summit 1G or something and give them like 3 viewers. And then fucking, like
3 viewers to 30k.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's 0.1% of the fucking population of that fucking channel. Like, it's nothing.
Like, to be honest, even if you didn't host them, chances are at least one of those viewers probably would have gone to watch one of the biggest streamers afterwards anyway.
Yeah, like it's not like it's like whatever. But like yeah, it's just about finding that group to help you out.
I think because I want to be able to see, even if I can't build my channel up to a state where I'm just like, wow, I've done something. I want to at least say that I tried.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to look at my channel and gone, I've put in more effort onto this thing than I've ever put into it.
Yeah.
Just this one video, as example, has had more time invested into it than my entire channel did last year.
Yeah, just look at it and say that I did something. I didn't wait. I tried. I did what I could, and this is where it got me.
And the thing is, like, even if we go in with I'm going to be going into it with 0 expectations of growth, because if you have expectations, they're always going to be shattered. You're never going to actually get anywhere if you have expectations but no motivation. Or no full reason to believe in such.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's landing on right next to your building.
Oh yeah, I heard it.
But like if
well, that's handy.
But when it comes to things, but I want to go into it with 0 expectations, so I don't get discouraged and I don't go, well, this didn't do well.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm not doing it anymore then.
Don't worry, guys. My next stream will be more upbeat.
Huh? What's that?
I said, don't worry, guys. My next stream will be more upbeat. Depression hour with Ed and VenomousShark.
It's more a sense of like I want to go in and say, I don't care if other people like it. I want to like it. I want to look at something and go, wow, I did that thing and I don't hate myself.
We're such positive people right now.
was like, I can't even go to the shop to buy a drink without feeling ashamed. I'd get home after buying myself a drink and I'd just be like, I could have just had water. What the fuck's wrong with me? Like, it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. It's toxic. It's not healthy. But that's just how things are. It's just how I am. And it sucks, but I just gotta deal with it, I guess.
Yeah,
But
it's true. It's just some people have certain mentalities, and it's just like, fuck, I'm stuck with it.
those mentalities can be toxic, not just specifically to other people, but to themselves.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not sure if you got the kind of vibe that I did with 2018, but the entire year just felt like a whole load of nothing.
Mhm. Pretty much, yeah.
Like, sure, there was a couple things that made me go, ooh, spicy. But for the
2018 just
most
felt like a
part,
dull year to me.
yeah.
Just a lot of nothing. A lot of the same.
Like, this might be my exhaustion speaking, and my overall lack of rest.
You still seem pretty
Yeah.
level-headed to me.
But
You haven't started praising
I-
Fortnite yet, so you're still in a good position with me. Ow!
you say that and hurt yourself, man.
The universe just fucking punished me for that one.
And but even in the current state I am now, I don't think I've ever felt this motivated in my life. I'm not motivated in a sense where my blood's pumping and I am really excited about future prospects and I'm bubbling with anticipation.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of motivated. It's more of a it's clicked.
Yeah, like I know what I need to do. I know what I want to do. And now it's just a matter of going and doing it.
Yeah, something's finally fell in place in my mind to finally let me say all of this stuff. Because it's almost like within this last hour or way more actually of
It's
talking
been
about
like 3 hours.
within this just talk and conversation of just really serious mature topics, I feel like I've grown up, as it were, more now than I did for the entirety of the last 3 months. Like, I feel like...
Oh, crap. And I think also a lot of it that I'm going to try and focus more back towards streaming is just kind of keeping a positive mentality about my games. I don't want to be one of those toxic streamers that constantly complains and is never, like, satisfied with anything. So I'm going to try and just, not be that guy.
Yeah.
Like I was streaming Fortnite today. I didn't have a single good outcome all day. But I was streaming it for, I thought we were blue for some reason, but I was streaming it for like almost 2.5 hours. And even my brother was like, how are you still playing this? And the entire time I was never mad. I was just enjoying playing the game.
Yeah.
Which I feel is one of the main things. You just need to enjoy playing that game. You can't get wrapped up in all the, all that other shit. Just enjoy playing the game. It's what got me to want. It's what made me want to pursue what I want to pursue because I enjoy playing games and I just want to go back to the root of just enjoying playing the game.
I feel like there's so much emphasis on becoming great at anything in this life. Whether it is in a career, in a hobby, just everything now is about the sporadic and the very over the top, crazy good level kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about being the best you can be.
Yeah.
And I think people have started to really misinterpret what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all well and good.
You don't have to be the
trying
best
to be...
in the world.
No.
That's where they're misinterpreting it.
Exactly.
You be the best that you can be, not the best that you can be for the best the world can be.
Exactly.
Which is where people misinterpret it.
You're not trying to be the best full stop. You're trying to be the best you. You're trying to you have to look at yourself and go, okay, there is something, even if it's slight here, that I'm doing wrong, and I can stop, and I can fix. Even if it's as simple as something like a game where, like, part of your playstyle is a bit weak. Say you're playing a fighting game and you can't quite handle those really rangy, space-based, like projectile spamming characters. You just don't know how to handle them. You can look at that and go, okay, I know where my weakness is, and I can adjust. I can spend some time and I can learn if that's what I want to do.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I think I just saw what you... But,
saw what?
I think I just saw why you went, oh shit. I don't know, I might be really far behind.
What, did my car hit the wall and just do a stupid aerial type thing?
Oh, I don't think I saw it. No, I'm far behind. But yeah, it's not... Like, you have to say, like, okay, I'm not... As disheartening as it may seem to hear at first, you have to say to yourself, I'm not going to be the best there ever will be, right? I'm not going to be the best ever, because there's always going to be someone, whether it's in your lifetime or not, who's going to come around and do this one thing and be better at it than anybody even imagined.
Mm-hmm.
So it's less about being the best at this one thing and everything. It's more about looking at yourself and being the best you, I guess.
Yeah.
Motivational speaking. Lines in Canada. The entirety of Canada, the whole fucking country.
I'm not kidding on much of a VenomousShark.
But
I'm only Canada on this account. On my other account, I'm also VenomousShark. But I can only be VenomousShark on one account. I can't be VenomousShark twice, I don't think. I might be. I don't know. I could try. I might try and change my name and see if it lets me.
You can be.
Can I really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just change my name to VenomousShark.
Yeah, it's all about you just can't have your Steam IDs the same.
Oh, okay. Second a minute. Okay,
Like
I'll be VenomousShark on both then.
Yeah, but the whole point of the matter is, like, people stress themselves out too much, and don't get me wrong, stress in moderation is like, stress is healthy to an extent. You can't, if you live a completely and utterly stress-free life, chances are there's something wrong with you, really. I'm not saying that in a sense of like, oh, you don't stress out about things. What are you, fucking... What do you have, a problem? Like, I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying it in the sense of it's literally impossible to live in this day and age without being stressed out by something.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you care about the people that are around you and you care about yourself, then something is going to stress you out because you're concerned about your well-being, their well-being. There's always going to be something.
Like you don't even need to respond to this stress with full screechery, right? Right now, even though I'm talking in probably the calmest I've talked in a long time, I am stressing out like mad right now because I should have been in bed like 6 hours ago. And I'm missing out on a lot of sleep, and I don't even think it's worth going to bed, which means today is going to be really difficult because I basically chose to ignore that basic human need, and now I'm going to pay the repercussions of it.
See, I don't pay the repercussions of it. I just fall asleep and screw up my sleep schedule.
But like, but the problem is, I would do that, but part of my whole grand plan, as it were, for 2019. Although I don't like to say it like that because that makes it seem like I'm going all try-hard mode, which
you kind of are, but
I mean, I am
try-hard mode on your life, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going.
But you should always go try-hard mode on your life.
Yeah, like one of the things I want to keep track on and keep in check is those basic requirements of basic social function, right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I have a good sleep schedule, that I can finally put my priorities in check, that I can do something and not feel like I should be.
Oh shit, what's he doing?
Although that's a pretty big one, and I'm probably not going to be able to completely nudge that one, but that's more along the lines of the priority sort.
Yeah.
But like, so there are certain things there are certain things that just in life are going to stress you out. They're going to test you. Life is a test. It's the ultimate test. That's all it is. It's all these like school tests and papers and things you're doing right now. They're nothing compared to actually living.
See, part of the
problem yourself in that.
Part of the problem I have with kind of the way life works right now is because I know that no matter what I do in school, none of that is what I want to actually do. I'm not motivated to try.
Yeah.
Because it's not taking me anywhere I want to go. It's taking me somewhere that feels forced. So I'm not motivated to even try.
Yeah. Like, I'm in the same boat, but to a different degree. Like, I know I want to do this, and I do enjoy doing it, but my problem is that, like, I see that as far as things go, as it stands now, it's not at a stage where I can say, yeah, I can do this for like my own kind of career. It's not at that. It's not. It won't be for a long time.
Yeah.
Whether that long time be a couple months or a couple years, nobody knows. Nobody really knows that.
Nope.
But regardless, in comparison to how we perceive time as people, it can't it can't get better, right? Well, like you can't. I see the fact that it's not at its current stage sustainable, and that's discouraging because when it comes to starting to treat things in a professional capacity, I almost have this subconscious expectation set upon the activity that if I treat it professionally, the outcome and the reward will be of a professional level, which isn't the case, especially in something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to buck my shit up, basically. I just need to sort my stuff out. And it's gonna be a long, tiring, wild ride. But honestly, from how I could see it as it is now, and evaluating me setting these, even now, kind of intimidating ideals and ideas for the year, like, even as I set them now, I'm really excited, because I feel like if I do pull this off, I'm going to be seriously, like, I'll probably feel happier with myself in the long run, regardless of if it works out. In the end, it doesn't matter if it does. If it does, it's a bonus, right?
Yeah.
That's great. But if it doesn't pay off, at least I can say that I gave it my best go. I tried, didn't work out. Guess I can just move on.
Yeah.
And I can move forward without any regrets. And I think that's the one thing people really need to start looking at, is how can I make sure that if this doesn't work out, how I can make sure I won't regret spending. I don't know.
Well, I feel like
That was,
this year especially, I'm gonna. Oh my god. No, teammate. Oh. um, this year I'm especially gonna dedicate a ton of time to improving my stream and just improving the quality and just everything about it. Trying to make it as good as it could possibly be.
yeah.
And then I'm going to, and then, like, I don't know, I feel like if I'm not seeing, like, oh shit, that was my bad. If I'm not seeing anything, like, at all changing, then I can start to look towards other things.
Yeah.
I'll definitely keep pursuing this, but this is definitely the year where I just want to put everything I have into this and seeing what I can get out of it.
I think, yeah, if I was to put a thematic onto this year,
I'm going to message the people I need to message. I'm going to do every single thing I possibly can.
Finn described this as a classic anime story arc, which I can kind of see, but the kind of theme I'd say is for this year that I've noticed with both myself, you, even Finn himself, is this year is all about giving it your best go and just fully trying to finally realize what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really think Finn had something going there. It was like generic anime, cartoony story arc, right? It's the generic. Oh, it's the final stretch. It's the do or die moment. Like,
damn it, man! I'm throwing this game away. It's like I'm gonna relate this back to Pokemon. He goes out and gives it everything he can. Generic anime, right there.
like, because obviously, it is. Like it is a do or die. It is one of this is exactly. You can't.
Because you
go
can't
in and-
focus on this forever, because then you'll never.
Right.
There's a chance you could never go anywhere. You need to
Exactly.
have something, anything.
But if you don't leave without going all in, then you feel like you cheated it. You cheated the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
Yep.
That there is absolutely no way you can end something completely without giving it at least that fair chance and farewell.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's almost like a game, actually. You can't play a game halfway through.
Now I say all this, and tomorrow I'm not even going to be here to stream during the afternoon. Tomorrow I say all this. Tomorrow I'm not going to be able to do more than one stream because I have something tomorrow afternoon that I'm doing it with my family. But
Nice.
still,
I mean, it doesn't
I'm still
have to
putting out a
start
stream tomorrow.
immediately.
I'm still putting out a stream tomorrow. It's happening.
Yeah, yes,
Normally I would kind of. I mean, if it was. Normally I just kind of say, well, I'm busy that day. I'm not going to stream at all. But I'm definitely getting a stream out tomorrow, no matter what. I'm putting a stream out. Unless someone dies, I'm putting a stream out.
Mm-hmm. Also, that team you just fought was called the Enigma, and
Are they? I wasn't
Yeah,
even
they
paying
were called
attention.
they were called the Enigma.
Oh my god.
But yeah, yeah. As far as it goes, like you don't have to be. I think another common misconception that even I pray to, with motivation and working for your goals and your dreams and all that shit. A common misconception is that every day you wake up and you do the thing. It's not. You don't. There are days you wake up and you go, fuck this, fuck that, fuck everything, fuck no. And that's normal. And it's acceptable. I'd say it's perfectly acceptable.
Even on those days, I'm gonna go hard.
But like
I'll rally.
But yeah, those are the days that really test you. And those are the days that, especially if they're dedicated days where you said, okay, I'm doing this thing, then you should, absolutely. But you have to remember to give yourself that off time, that downtime, that opportunity to relax. Collect yourself.
Well, the thing is, for me, like, I don't know. See, like when you're talking about like the way like your personality and stuff, my personality is very different from yours. I really don't give a shit about a lot of stuff. Like I truly just could care fucking less. So any backlash, anything that ever hits me when I'm online, when I'm streaming, doing anything, I don't care. So I enjoy playing the games, so this isn't like, well, this is something I want to make a career out of. This is just my passion. I just want to do it. And regardless of whether or not I'm streaming or not, I'm playing games. It's not like I get tired of it and I need a break.
Well, yeah, no. But it's more like, it's more of those out of that experience. Like, you can't be thinking about it all the time. You can't wake up living and breathing your work. You have to have a clear definition between what's work and what's not. Because if you don't, then either everything will feel like work and you will stress yourself out too quickly and burn out, or nothing will feel like work and you won't feel obligated to get anything done.
I feel like there is a third option in that regard, which is the fact of you truly loving and enjoying your work to the point where it doesn't feel like work, but it is.
Oh, of course. It's the old saying, like, if you truly love what you do, then you never work a day in your life. That's the saying, right?
Hmm.
But but even then, like, I've talked to people who said, like, I really enjoyed doing this thing, and even I was, but I really wish I just let myself rest from it because, yeah, because I've done this all 3 years of college, where the first couple months I'd go try hard mode, and all I'd do is live, breathe, shit, and eat. Work, right? I'd just go, okay, well, I've got, for instance, in creative media, I'd be like, okay, I've got this video to produce and edit. I'm going to spend my entire evening doing that.
Hmm.
And though it was well and good, I felt motivated to do it. It ultimately ended with me having complete burnout and
Yeah.
physical, like,
Like
complete
you thought
actual
about it.
drainage.
Yeah, exactly. Like you thought about it. You did it so much that you're just drained. And that's part of
Like,
where it comes in, where I just need to start enjoying games and not so much getting annoyed by them as much, because
yeah.
I will start to physically get drained of gaming, because it's just all it does is piss me off, because
Yeah.
I'm just so mad at those games. And part of the problem is that, especially when it comes to first person shooters, I'm not mad at the game. I'm mad at myself because I'm not good enough. And it pisses me off.
Mm.
Especially PUBG. PUBG is a prime example of
Yeah.
the fact that I just I'm nowhere near as good as I used to be, and it pisses me off that I ever gave up on it. Because I
Mm.
could have been so much better.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I ever told you about this, and when it comes to editing this whole conversation, I might keep it in just because it's really important as an example of, like, burning yourself out. During my first year of creative media, around the time of October, November, I can't really remember which it was. There was a time where I'd be focusing so much on work, and I was sacrificing basic human needs like sleep to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just a day where literally I got into college an hour early. No, actually, it was 2 hours early, hour earlier than anybody else ever showed up.
Yeah.
And that day, the moment I sat down in my chair and went, okay, let's work. Let's have a good day today. I fell asleep instantaneously. The moment after I logged in, booted up that editing software, I was out cold. And I didn't want to be. It just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite literally a physical, like, rejection of that much, like, self-imposed and forced work that in the long run really fucked me, because even to this day I look back on the time I try hard at, at, at a thing I enjoyed, and I remember how it ultimately fucked me up, basically. In the end, it's kind of left this mark that I can't quite explain, because It's just now whenever I think, okay, I'm gonna give this a proper go. I'm gonna see how well I can really do this thing. If I start getting into it, I kind of become reminded of the time where I tried too hard and I've been left, as far as I'm aware, as far as I consider it, permanently fucked because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even now, even though I'm just talking, I feel just as I did that very day.
Doesn't
At
also
this
help
exact
that
time.
you fucking haven't slept yet.
No, yeah, but I didn't that day either. But the difference is, today, in all my time, I've just been playing games and relaxing. And with that, I spent all my time working. I shouldn't feel as tired now as I did then.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. It shouldn't be possible that I do. But I feel the exact same level of tired, and even like, maybe it's just because I won't shut my fucking mouth. But but I feel like I feel physically sick, like almost physically sick right now. It's like my body's starting to reject the action of moving my mouth and just doing things in general.
It's like, fuck you. Shut up.
It really is.
It's like, Edward, I swear to God, if you don't stop talking and go to bed,
it sucks.
I'm going to
And it
kill
sucks.
you.
And it sucks because, like, I'm sure you'd be able to agree that, like, 3 years ago, I'd be able to do this exact same night. Again, it could just be me aging. I'm already an old man and all. But
Yeah, an old man at 19. Or no, 18.
18, coming up 19 this year. And that I'm already.
Dude, it's
already
weird
kind
to
of,
think that I'm turning 20 this year.
It's weird to think that I'm almost 20. Not this year, but next. Oh.
At the end of by the end of this year, I will be 20.
Mm.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but it's. But you can agree that, say, if we did this exact night 3 years ago, I wouldn't sit there and directly say, "Yo, I feel like I could fucking throw up," because I'm just that exhausted that my body physically rejects it.
Yeah.
Like before, I'd just be like, "Wow, I could really do with a nap." But now I'm like, I legit like am considering a coma right now.
I'm considering a coma.
People are gonna get offended at me.
Fuck you! Some people don't want to be in a coma and are. You're a horrible person. How could you even say that? And that would be the small group of people that would get offended by what you just said.
I don't mean it in a state of actual like accident induced coma. Like I mean I just want to enter a state of coma type in the sense of I want to just be completely and utterly
devoted to nothing but sleep.
Yeah, I just want to be unconscious to the point of complete and utter like
serenity.
nothingness. Yeah. I just want to be able to lie down and go, okay, now my body will do nothing but relax. And God,
And at some point during this coma, I will piss myself. Because I can't wake up to go to the bathroom.
Like just the idea of lying down and sleeping up for 24 hours is just so satisfying to me. Right
I
now.
have actually slept for like 14 hours before, and it was just like,
No,
you feel, the problem is when you do that, you feel dead for the next 8 fucking hours. You are done. You don't want to do anything. Your body is giving you a
Right.
big old fuck you. You feel like you were before you went to sleep. But you can't go back to sleep. Your body's just like that. After
The
those
one
8
thing-
hours, you are awake for like 12 fucking more hours. Because you have so much fucking energy that finally decided, I'm going to be used now, that you're just done. You're fucked. You're up for those 12 hours. You're not going to bed.
I once stayed up for 30 hours straight.
I've stayed up 48 hours straight. It was a bad time. I was tired as shit.
Yeah. I fell asleep for like 18 hours, but I think the longest I've ever slept was 20 hours.
But when you wake up, you just still feel like you're so
feel
drained.
awful.
You feel awful
You feel
until it
better.
wears off, and then all of a sudden you're just like, fuck, where did this come from?
You feel better after a 7-hour sleep than you do for an 11-hour sleep.
Yeah.
Alright, hold on, I gotta let the cat out and stretch my body before I fucking collapse.
I'm just gonna hear a thud on your floor and be like, Ed! Ed!
I'm just about to implode, so I need to expand it.
That sounded so dirty.